Tim,
Benjamin.
you're back.
Well, you sent me on a coffee run. It took me a month.
Yeah, a soy milk coffee. No, I'm just kidding. No. Tim is back with us today. You all are back with us today. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Tech Tuesday. My name is Ben.
I'm Tim.
And we are back at it, answering the questions for the people. A lot of really exciting stuff coming down the pipeline as far as videos, products, all kinds of things. This is your one-stop shop for all things ACES fuel injection and getting to peer behind the curtain, as they say. Tim, I'm excited. Here we go. Welcome back. How was your trip?
It was absolutely fantastic getting to interact with the level of manufacturing and going through all the quality things. And it is there will be some videos coming out soon for you, the people, about some of the behind-the-scenes stuff. I'm very excited about it because I got allowed some very good access. But the insane amount of quality checks that we do on our products, I mean, it's heavy how many quality checks we do. Yeah. And, the only other time that I've seen the equipment like that at that level and how we actually do things has been in aviation.
Wow,
so,
that's impressive.
And I've actually seen bits and pieces in aviation that endured less quality checks than just our throttle bodies.
That's not comforting.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
No, but seriously, I've seen some of those things, and it's going to be super exciting for a lot of you guys that are waiting on the wrapping up of that LS installation video, the TBI installation videos, the tuning.
We're doing TBI like after we finish this.
Yeah.
We got this fuel system stuff.
Yeah.
It's just like we didn't want to do Hollywood magic on it. We didn't be like, oh look, here's a video. It took us about 3 hours to do, and then it's a 15-minute video, but we really spent 5 days making everything else work. It's like,
or pull a bunch of people to do it. Like it just makes sense to follow the similar timeline. But you all have been patient about it, and we're very thankful for that. You guys are committed to listening to Tech Tuesday every week to hear some of the new and impressive things coming your way, as well as just getting your questions answered, which is why we're here, Tim. For the people to answer the questions.
Let's burn through some questions.
For the people. So, again, thank you so much for watching this episode, and we will jump right into question 1. Let's see. So the first 2 questions, Tim, are not really questions. They're just saying general statements, in my opinion.
Hey, looks like Bradley gave some great advice.
Yes. Super excited to have Bradley fill in while you're gone. He's had a lot of insights because he does the RMA stuff. Like
I kind of, because he does the RMA stuff. You got to send something back in. It's a Bradley job. Yeah. And maybe I coordinate everything and give advice and this, that, and the other, and check into interesting quality things and all that. Like, ooh, what was this? What was that? But he does a fantastic job, and he has had a college level experience at this point with everyday hands-on EFI. All the It's the best part for learning about fuel injection is when you are running quality checks, when you're testing things that do work and why didn't it work, and here's the thing, and just getting that information to the customer as well to give somebody a response like, hey, how did you have that hooked up? Because sometimes the answer don't come until after we got it in our hands, and then we work through it at a different strategy, and then it's like, oh, that that so
Yep. All right, here we go. Question 1 is from Chris Phoenix. He says, it's not really a question, but it says, you should make a video for wiring the PDM.
I believe we already have that on our filming schedule. I mean, we have the LS thing and the TBI thing to do right now, but
the plan is to put the PDM on this TBI install, right? Am I correct on that? Or are we doing it for something else?
That was the original plan, but we're going to take that PDM, and my plan for the video is I'm going to take a system, battery, toggle switch or 2. I'm going to lay it out on a table and go through painfully. Wire from here goes to there. Wire from there goes to here. This is what you can do with it. This is what you can't do with it. And then at the end of the video, I might try to just let the magic smoke out, pop some fuses, and show you guys how actually tough this thing is. But we got a lot of planning, a couple meetings to do about it before we actually make that PDM video. So we're hitting on all 8 and giving you exactly what you're asking for, because I've been asked this question in person at a recent show I was at. Because
we can do that.
We've got a few influencers out there with our systems.
It's true. Some of them probably watching this. But yeah, we can definitely do that. There's some other shorts that we've hit here and there over the course of January.
PDM, massive host of tuning videos. Yeah. Because our tuning software just had a recent update. I'm very excited about it.
Yeah. I mean, we've done things from gaskets to fuel system hookup. Like we've been doing the gambit, as they say. But yeah.
Yeah. What's that? Hemi Nut 1?
Yeah.
Are you looking to make a multi-port kit for a small block Mopar? Yeah, I believe so. Don't we have one of those somewhere? I think I had a test sample that I measured like forever ago.
It was a while ago, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the Hemi stuff where it is a smaller corner of the market. Don't get mad at me, Hemi guys. But there is a volume thing there, because you demand more quality in the things you're putting on your car. I know you guys are all picky.
As you should be. I mean,
everybody should be picky.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, I know was doing some Hall Effect stuff for big block, small block. I know we already have a Hall Effect small block thing. And because of that, anytime we make a Hall Effect for a block, the multi-port comes shortly after. The intakes, I think we're waiting on our casting people or something like that. Because our intakes, believe it or not, we're not just buying the thing off the shelf and throwing our label on there. We actually have qualifications for it. It has to be this shape. It has to be this way. Otherwise, because you can just buy the thing, but then you have a whole massive thing of fitment issues. So,
I don't know when a date would be for that. Obviously not a specific date, but a timeline. But I could see it this year. I could
definitely see it this year, because I'm actually hunting for some Mopar stuff, and I might just outsource it to a couple of the authorized tuners and be like, "You got a big block laying around? Put this on there. Let me know how it goes. If I need to drive up, I will."
Sure. Next question comes from Welder Up Garage. He says, "I'm going to be ordering the Royal Flush for my big block Chevy OBS GMC 1-ton dually, and we will be going on long drives once or twice a month. So my question is, are you guys going to be coming out with a drive-by-wire throttle body so that we can have cruise control? I've watched all 199 videos so far. Y'all are a wealth of knowledge and highly appreciated." First of all, I just want to say, there are a lot of comments that are very kind to us for Tech Tuesday, and as much as it's fun for me to help edit, make these things happen, and Tim, he spends a lot of time coming up here to, we now drive to this studio so that it's quiet enough to where we can record these videos.
Yeah, but we didn't get here early enough to turn the heat on, so we got our jackets.
So we have our jackets on. But seriously, all of the feedback is great. Whether it is questions or things we can improve, but just all the encouragement has been great. So I just wanted to touch on that. Anyway,
big block Chevy OBS drive-by-wire cruise control. Interesting. So I do know there's a company called interesting company, lovely people over there, called Dakota Digital, and where we have. We've partnered with them on some data transfer stuff. I think they do have a cruise module. I haven't messed with it yet. I don't know if it works on throttle bodies. I've heard rumor of a couple people with Dakota Digital using that to cruise on an LS system. Yeah. So that might be something you can reach out to them for and actually ask a question. We don't want to go into the cruise stuff because we're really focusing on the systems more than some of the smaller peripherals. And not only that, when you get into adding in cruise control, you end up with a whole host of liability and testing and all kinds of things, because cruise control is holding throttle. Yep. And that scares me a little bit. Yep. But it's also, I know it's a thing that'll be a lot easier as the years go, because more and more companies are pushing for more technology in the creature comforts of building a hot rod. Yep. So I'd reach out to Dakota Digital and ask them cats over there what kind of options they got, because they may have something you're just like, oh, you need to have this wire, you need to have this signal, you need to have this CAN thing, and they'll be like, yes, it will work, or it won't. No, it won't work.
And this was something that was brought up at PRI a lot this year as well. And it's I know we say this quite a bit, but it's not something that we wouldn't ever look into, but you made a great point. We're focusing on the system development, making what we already currently are making better, as well as the new stuff that we plan on releasing even this year. So that may not be something that we really pursue for at least a year or two, but it's not necessarily something we're saying no to necessarily. But probably not right now.
Let's see. Eric Spears, 2228. Killshot sounds pretty awesome. Oh, Killshot Pro sounds pretty awesome. It is. I made a video of putting one back together, a redemption video, if you will, because if you remember a couple of years ago, I took one apart. Well, I didn't take a Pro apart. It took like a Royal Flush throttle body, same. But I have a video coming out that is me doing everything, like putting all of it together, one piece at a time. Talking about the throttle plates and the shafts and the things and the springs and whatnots and what's inside the throttle body and what's the new updates for the throttle body and really neat stuff in there.
He says, I had a distributor issue, but not the Killshot's fault. Enjoyed the original Killshot. I don't believe we are.
I remember that. That was like a year and some change
ago,
I think.
Eric is
he's
a long-time customer for us. I don't believe there's any, and I don't even just not believe, we will continue to make and function with the current Killshot. That's not going anywhere. But the Killshot Pro is pretty awesome. I'd have to agree with you.
Oh, big fan.
So a lot of cool things coming with that for sure.
Dude, one thing I'm impressed about is our recent sales, and we're running into unknown territory, which I find impressive. We're running into the thing that, like, every once in a while we've had so many orders, we're waiting on 5-inch handhelds. We're waiting on a fuel sensor, waiting on this.
Well, genuinely, I think
it's just this time of the year.
Yeah,
because I think we had a similar slowdown on that, but a lot of folks go out there and they're like, oh, I ordered this thing 3 weeks ago, this, that, and the other. And we look into it and it's like, you're waiting on FedEx, bro.
Yeah,
you're waiting on up. Son.
Yeah, and I think also we had similar things happen last year in that we just grew so quickly that orders and stuff just took longer. So even in this year, we worked extra hard to make sure we had double the inventory that we could possibly need, and we still ran out. So it's true. It's if that doesn't say anything about what we're doing, then I don't know what else does. But it's a great product. We're continuing to improve it, and we'll have more and more stuff available throughout the year.
But if you guys are out there waiting on a thing, call us. Shoot us a message. Shoot us a thing on the online thing. Just make contact with us and see if it's just like what's held in my order, and it's like, oh, it's this thing. It's like, I can wait on that. Just send the rest of it.
Yep.
Gray Line Overland. I would love to see an install from start to finish, getting AC and the dash kit installed in a street rod to make interior fully functional with a tablet installed in the gauge or gauge option that goes well with the system. Basically, something that is ready to drive and show off at the car meet. A fully functional street car. I think that'd be great. So as we do these videos, as we get information out, because right now we're in a crazy mad dash to get information out to you, the customer. We want to answer these questions and do these things and make these videos the best we can right now. Now, here at the back half of the year, we'll be even having a better place to film and a better selection of cars to be messing with to do these clean installs. And you're going to start seeing when we do an install video, it's like, oh, look, it's another Killshot video, but it's a whole different variety of Killshot video. Yeah. And some of it will be getting into the mounting a dash and, all that whatnot and, good ways to set it up, because also, some of our dash options, they may grow in size, they may grow in complexity and customization, and that's just more information we get to you guys when it's relevant and when it comes out. So you'll start seeing probably in the back half of the year when we roll out a few more things of like a little bit more down that direction of a thing. We're not going to build a fully functional, clean, super clean street car. Because we really want to focus on our systems. I do know there's a few of the YouTube people that I interact with on a regular basis that has done these installs, but they just didn't turn the camera on. They were too busy. And full, clean, crazy, custom, smooth interiors, clean under the hood, sheet metaled out on the fender wells, the whole gig. You couldn't see the system. You can see the throttle body, but it's like the wires disappeared with magic. It's amazing. But I've seen several clean installs out there. I just wish more people doing those big one-off custom clean cars would make some sweet videos about it, because I like to see that stuff. I mean, what do you think I watch on YouTube? Not myself. I watch you guys.
Yeah. So Yeah, definitely. And
unless I'm told to watch myself. The video you did last week, watch it.
Yeah. No, for sure. We'll also do, all of our systems, hopefully, eventually, too. Not just the Killshot and Jackpot, but we'll have multi-port injection. We'll have Hemi. We'll have, all of those things will come to fruition. And there'll be more time to improve upon how it looks and things like that.
I want to put out another 199 videos.
Yeah, that'll be great. That'll be awesome. Sign me up.
Dyno stuff, tuning stuff, software stuff, handheld stuff.
Yes.
Ooh, gets me excited.
Chris Phoenix, 6564 again, says, follow-up question to my previous quick draw question. How do you switch between the Killshot and the quick draw on the Pro Dash?
System select. Let's go back to, I think it's
settings.
I think it's in settings and then system select, and you just select from Killshot the quick draw. We'll do software updates, firmware updates, calibrations for gear and tire and everything. Not too bad. I thought we had a video on that. We had something in a video about going from Killshot to. We'll have to review that. If not, we'll just make one for you. It'll be a quickie short. Yep.
Button at the top right-hand corner, the handheld settings, system select, and that should be good.
There's so many things that we're coming out with this year that I wish I could just tell everybody about. But we got.
This will be where it comes out.
Yeah.
Probably first.
I've got an amazing prototype for a thing sitting on my desk right now that I'm itching to put on something. I'm actually going to take my personal time to install this thing.
Yeah.
Because it's neat.
Yeah.
And I wish I could video it. I wish I could put it out there. My boss got to tell me it's cool first, but
yeah. And the other thing is so there's a lot of things that we're coming out with and doing and changing. One of those things I'm doing with the marketing emails is we'll start doing every Monday we'll send out an update email. I don't know what we're going to call it yet, but basically almost in a newspaper fashion. So you'll definitely want to check that out and sign up for our emails on our website. But basically it'll give you a week by week the biggest things to know about ACES fuel injection. If you really are a fan of ACES fuel injection, you'll get stuff like his latest tech documents, any blogs that we're doing, the things that we're doing out in the community, just if we're releasing a new system, the fuel level wire, all those things will be announced probably other places, but that could be will be your one-stop shop as well outside of just Tech Tuesday to see what's going on here at ACES. So wanted to throw that in there as well.
Let's see what we got here. PS 1723SS.
Yeah. There
was a recommendation on the Facebook tech group to use a relay on the ignition feed to the ECU. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. That makes a lot of sense to help ensure clean power, etc., etc. My question is, does a PDM provide the same functionality, or is it still a benefit to use an ignition relay things? Yeah. The internal bits on that PDM is IGBT transistor, so it's one click better than a solid-state relay or electromechanical relay. Also, using that chipset, because of depletion barrier, it helps filter out any kind of oddball transient voltages when using a rogue switch 12-volt source from something other than a clean relay-driven switch 12-volt source. Yeah. So, that PDM should clean that up. And it'll be part of the PDM video, because I'm going to go into, hopefully, some of the science. I'll use my good color pencils, I'm sure. But we'll see.
Oh, I love that. Steering wheel holder 2483.
That's a statement in itself.
Yeah. Lowell, I'm going to have to come by and say hey to y'all. I'm really close, about 15 minutes north and on 27. Lowell, that's awesome. We love.
Is that how you say that?
Yeah.
Young people are funny.
No,
it's LOL.
Come on. Okay, so
lots of laughs. In case you didn't know.
I did know that. Yes, I'm not that young. Maybe I am.
That's the argument, isn't it?
Okay, so I just want to say this too. We'd love to have people come by the building. Just don't show up unannounced. Just send us a message, give us a call, let us know that you're coming by. We've shown people around and stuff like that, but we're not open to the public. You just need to let us know that you're coming by, and we can let you know if we are available or not to do something like that.
We may be, when the weather gets warmer, be interested. Oh no! Be interested in doing a bit of a parking lot thing.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, because why not?
That's a good shout out there too. We are talking about that.
Yeah, there's a whole pile of people that's just less than an hour and a half from us. It's like, can I come by? Can I come by? What's going on?
That would be cool.
And we might do a whole thing that's an even better idea. We could do, when the weather gets warmer, do like a little miniature Cars and Coffee. Everybody, RSVP, this, that, and the other. We do a live Tech Tuesday.
That would be cool.
In the parking lot.
Did you just come up with that? That's so cool.
No, I think it'd be great because then we could pull questions from the crowd or from the internet.
Yeah.
I want to do a lot more live Tech Tuesdays this year. Yeah. We're getting into the situation where that is a realistic possibility that maybe once a month we just click the go button on YouTube or Facebook and be like, all right, let's do a thing.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, anytime you get live with the customers, sometimes you get somebody being a little too funny or spicy for the most, so we'll have to drop some of those.
It's okay.
But that's okay.
We
you guys
welcome
knows
it.
What's up. You know who you are. I'm one of them.
Oh, man.
Some people don't know how to laugh.
No.
Nah.
Or say lol.
Or lol. Lol. Lol.
All right.
In my generation, we just said, yeah.
Right. Okay. After you, sir.
17 Little Ruthless. When you're letting the system self-learn, at least in the beginning, would it be a good idea to adjust the fuel learn cycle and learn rate or anything else? If so, what would you set them to? I'm glad you mentioned it. What I like to do is I like to limit it. If I know if it's an unknown build, unknown motor, I don't know what the fuel's going to do or the motor's going to do or the idle's going to do or whatever, what I'll do is I'll go in there and I'll move those limiters from 70 or 50 or whatever they're at to like 15. That way it's only going to add, a reasonable amount of fuel. If you have an unknown build that is like, this thing might start funny, it might fuel funny, I don't know what the adjustments are, I'm not 100% what I did, you can go into the fuel and you can look for the loop limit, learn limit, and just knock them down 10, 15% or whatever if you want to, if you want to be extra safe. Because, if you have something funny going on and it's bringing in extra atmosphere like an exhaust leak and it's tricking the O2 sensor, it's going to keep putting that fuel in until it hits its limiter. So put a small limit on there and, just say like, hey, you're only allowed to add 15% more fuel on loop. You're only allowed to add 15% more on learning. So if you compound those together, you're going to run into a situation where it's just going to be fat. Yeah. But then you can work with that because it's not washing the motor down. It's not killing an O2 sensor the rest of the way. You're not having to call us to figure out 1,000 things. It gives you a chance to step back and look at it, be like, what is the deal here? Maybe I should ask a question or two or get some advice. And you're like, oh, it was that thing. I'm glad I did what I did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think also, I don't know if this is related. I do know Bradley touched on a little bit on the last Tech Tuesday is when you're starting the vehicle for the first time, don't try to mess with a whole lot right out the gate. Just let it go through a startup procedure, let it idle, let it warm up, and not as soon as it's turning on and running, start messing with things. And so I don't know if that has anything to do with what he's talking about as far as like how quickly we're getting into changing those things. But Bradley explained really well in the last episode, just being patient with the system and that it's already set up to help dial in some of those things right out the gate. So
that'd be a heck of a tech video, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Make an exhaust leak, show the limiters, and then show what maximum it can do with a nasty old exhaust leak. That'd be a good one.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah. That'd be hard to fit.
You're in like the idea mode today. I don't know.
I have had a very active brain this last month, and now you guys have to suffer.
I'm not suffering. I'm loving it. Next question is from the Unshaped Fang. It's an interesting name. These are cool names that you guys have. Would it be possible to add a checkbox for the fan configuration page? When checked, fan 1 will shut off when fan 2 turns on. This would be great for running a single 2-stage fan. So a checkbox to change different fans? Am I reading that correctly, or just
it's an option to where if you got a fan that shuts, like if it goes into fan 2, then fan 1 shuts off, because some of those two-stage fans they're wired a little funny, and they can't have both circuits on at the same time because they have a high and a low. And if you have both of them with a ground trigger on, both relays being active, it may get a little funny because it'll fight itself. Yeah. Because some of them are just up in voltage or changing pulse width, and other ones it's like a whole separate circuit inside, and you don't want to run both. Yeah, I get you. Yeah. I don't know. That's something to think about later in the year when we're throwing in more options on some stuff after we iron out some other weird things that we're working on in the next firmware software release. Go Wild 9405. Will the Killshot Pro work with a race cam? And will it have bigger injectors, more HP? No.
I don't. I think
race cam's going to be a tuning thing, straight up. If you got a nasty cam that makes no vacuum, there's airflow dynamics involved in that and the whole thing, and it takes some custom tuning for sure. But also we're not going to put bigger injectors in those naturally, but what we are going to allow is a 2x4 setup, so you can throw that secondary cable on there and run a secondary throttle body on like a tunnel ram or a 2x4 setup. Yeah. That's how we want to do that. Now for a bigger horsepower kill shot, just keep your ear to the ground. There's interesting things happening.
Yeah.
Not soon, later, but that's a very expensive venture.
Yeah, and
not a lot of market in it.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the thing. I have seen a couple of those questions throughout the year, talking about having a larger throttle body unit. And honestly, I'm not saying it's a bad idea. It makes TBI installations are by far probably the easiest thing that we have to install outside of maybe like a high roller CDI box. But even that. So I get it. More horsepower with the TBI setup would be nice. But again, we offer stuff that allows you to get to higher horsepower engines currently, and applications. But just the market for larger TBIs and is just not massive. So,
I see a good one I want to answer too.
Yeah, go for it.
We'll see this one there, the Iris Cloverfield. I read that wrong initially. If I run the Jackpot and Quick Draw, will I be able to display data from both? I'd like to see transmission temperature and engine data on the same screen. That is a conversation that was had about 2 weeks ago. So that's actually on the drawing board of figuring out what it takes to do that. I think it'll be great, but we are working very soon, very quickly, into a new generation of handhelds that's going to have a lot of interesting capabilities. Yeah. So that is a realistic thing of like, I like it. Yeah. You like it. We all like it. Yeah. So need to figure out the strategy of how to work our massive team of engineers into adding that to the list, perhaps for 2025. We want to make it work, not make it mild. We want to make it good. So,
yeah, very cool.
Sweet.
64-bit architecture type stuff. Loving it.
Big boy stuff.
Okay. We're running out of time here, but let's try to get maybe one or two more. This one's from Orange Marrow.
I want this one right here.
Orange Marrow. Sorry, misspoke on a previous comment. I do not have a kill shot. I have a Royal Flush. But we're also correct. He does have an orange Camaro. Crazy. Love the name, though. I will send pictures of the install. I just finished the Wizard, turned the key, and it ran like crap until I reached 160 degrees, and it was like magic. Started to smooth out. It idled down. It smoked way less out the tailpipe. Also, thanks for the detailed information at the end of the last episode. I will follow that procedure. Only question I have now after watching all 58 episodes.
Super fan.
Loving this, guys, is how fast should your engine stop after you turn the key off? Mine will run for an additional 1 to 2 seconds.
Would you like to know a secret?
I think you would.
Anyways, you cut the key off. Does the thing. Certain ignition systems in older vehicles, I notice, holds a bit of voltage. So it doesn't go like 12 volts, 0. It goes 12 volts, click, 8, 6, 4, 2, whatever. So it might be your switch 12-volt source just not allowing it to shut off. Because my Tahoe, which is, it draws its own power. It's very clean. As soon as I touch that key to turn it off, it's off. Same thing with the engine run stand, the LS, the Blazer, and all that stuff. But I could see where potentially If you have that switch 12 volt in the same circuit as your alternator, you may run into that kind of thing because it's still going to be pushing out a little bit of voltage on that switch 12 volt wire. I would try to just for an experiment, throw a little relay on there, a couple little alligator clips or whatnot, and see if that helps out. If it helps out, then add a relay to it and just clean up that little bit of a thing. Because I think you're holding some voltage there, and it's taking an extra second or two to bring that level down appropriately.
Yeah.
I only say that because I've seen it before.
All right. One last question before we wrap up today.
I am going to butcher this name. A. Lane Miller, 9594. I have a 93 Mazda RX-7 with a 12A rotary engine. Have you ever heard?
Nasty.
Have you
heard any of?
Have you heard? No.
Of any.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's a bit.
Yeah.
Anyway,
retry.
Basic setup for a rotary motor. Looking to purchase EFI. Once do my research is successful. I am also researching rotary stuff because the ignition strategy on having that many spark plugs with a leading and trailing thing gets a little bit funny.
Yeah.
Now, there's a few people that does a really complicated setup with an ignition box and have a secondary coil and this, that, and the other, and it works just fine. But also, the RPM output's going to only go to show about a third of the RPMs that you're working with, so that creates another small tuning thing. One of the things I want to do is work out a strategy of ignition box software settings or what have you not, especially with adjusting the output or the RPMs itself to get this more dialed in. As a previous owner of a 12A, I used another EFI system and had about 3 nosebleeds before I even got the thing to fire off correctly. And then I realized there's a whole community forum of people using competitors' products, a couple of ours, on these rotary engines. But there is a whole different strategy. I would rather see us put a bit of research into the rotary market because you guys do exist, and I've also I've got an FC, I've got a Turbo 2 FC, I've got an FD, and I don't have anything older than that. But I would like one. That way I can have the whole matching set.
Sure.
Anyways, but nevertheless, it is something I'm going to be putting some personal time and professional time into this year because I hang out with the rotary crowd and I want to see that. I want to see a point, click, and buy strategy for a rotary engine. Yep. It's a lot to do, but I think it's a worthwhile journey to add. And it'll be probably for the 2-barrel because that's about enough airflow for a rotary engine. You're talking about a motor the size of a milk crate that doesn't have pistons.
Yeah. I mean, this is true. Parts. It's true. We talked about it yesterday, as recently as yesterday. So yeah, definitely.
4 moving parts, if you count the heart of the true rotary enthusiast.
You're amazing, Tim. Thank you so much for joining us today. I know we didn't get to all the questions. We'll try to nail some of them later. Maybe we'll even make them individual reels this week. But thank you all so much for watching this episode of Tech Tuesday. If you liked it, feel free to leave a like down below. And if you have any questions about EFI, ACES fuel injection specifically, feel free to leave a comment down below, and we'd be happy to get to it in our next Tech Tuesday video. We will do our best. There are more of you, which is awesome, which is great. But yeah, absolutely. We are super excited to be back doing this together. Having Tim back is fantastic. But until next time, as always, we will see all of you in the next video. Bye for now. Now.